Yeah.
Going
That's about
cold.
20 yards.
Okay.
This is why we need the warm up. Here we go. A little less jam.
Why is it projecting it out there? We don't. Nobody needs to know that. Haha.
So that answers the
Look at
question. We have this really sweet radar that we come out with this year. Bluetooth speed directly to the app for speed training.
Yeah, I've used it. It's so nice. You just swing and it's poop, poop, poop right in there. It's
Right,
great.
right. And so we're, Marty and I are constantly thinking of, okay, well, how can we make the most out of what we already have?
Yeah.
We have this radar.
Yep.
If 3 people buy a stack, 2 people buy the radar with it, so we have all these users with this piece of equipment.
Yep.
What can we do to help them continue to stack their golf skills? So we started doing some research with it. What's good with the radar? We don't want to claim to be, hey, we're the best radar on the market. We're not competing with TrackMan or MLM2 Pro, but we're really good at measuring ball speed. It turns out that from about 30 to 150 yards,
Okay.
carry distance is 99% predicted by ball speed. So
How much does spin matter in that? Does it?
What's interesting is that spin and launch angle, the other two, if you wanted to predict how far a ball carries, you need to know speed, spin, and launch.
Yeah.
Turns out that spin and launch co-vary with ball speed.
Okay.
So you might, if you end up launching it higher or different spin between 30 and 150 yards, it's going to end up carrying that distance. And you can test this out if you're like, let's say you're hitting a ball to 40 yards with your 60-degree wedge, and you're like, oh, I'm going to hit a kind of a low one, launch it at 27, and you're like, oh, I'm going to hit a high flop shot, you're going to launch it at 38. If you look at the ball speed number, that ball speed number to get it there is going to be about the same.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I guess I've never looked at that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so then what we did is, we're sitting there doing all this research, we've got the TrackMan running, and we're able to take the data out of that little yellow radar and do some processing with it in our app, and we can get really good carry prediction. I've for the longest time, have been sitting on all these ideas for creating combines and better ways to practice. So now we have a tool to do it. We got 3 different targets. For each target, you're going to take 2 shots per round. And we currently don't have any randomization on. So you're going to see 40, 60, 80, 2 shots to each, then 40, 60, 80. And we tell you, all right, make sure you connect the stack radar. We're connected. And boom. So everybody's been getting 3 warm-up shots.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Going
that's about
cold.
20 yards.
Okay.
This is why we need the warm-up. This is why we need the
Why
warm-up.
is it projecting it out there? We don't. Nobody needs to know that.
Sure. One more warm-up. So those are, we got to carry it. We got to carry it 40, Cordy. Let's do it. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Okay.
All right, you got the feel. So now
Wait. So what is max points you can get on a shot?
you're going to show me max points. So if you hit it exactly 40 yards to the 40-yard target, it won't be as many points as if you hit it exactly 80 yards to the 80-yard target. 44 yards.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Here we go. A little less jam.
Shot 2 carry 34 yards.
Okay.
That's all right.
So everything on wedges when talking to
could be
people,
Shot 1 carry 55.
55, is like launch angle so important on these short wedge shots. Like, how do you feel about that in this?
Yeah, certainly. I think if you're working on technique, that's different from practice. What's most important is, can you get your distance control down?
Right.
Shot 2 carry
Oh, there
63
There we go. That's
good.
Getting a little bit of points. So now we're going to jump up to 80 yards. We got a combine score of 172. So we got some big points coming here. I can feel it.
Shot 1 carry 80.
Haha.
So that answers the
Look at
question. As you go along, you can see that right now your target score, so that's 264 points for hitting the 80-yard target.
Got it.
And that bumped up your combine score. And as you go through, we're tracking the best you've ever done in this combine, right? So you can compare your best and your average.
Okay.
Does that make sense for both the targets and the overall combine?
Shot 2 carry.
Oh, adrenaline. See, now you're going to
You got me
close
too
in.
pumped up there. Gosh, I got excited.
This is round 2 now.
Okay.
So we're going to work through these targets again. Oh, it's too short.
Shot 2 carry.
That's better.
There we go.
That's better. Sit down.
Shot 1 carry.
Yeah. Man, you've seen enough shots to know exactly how far it's going, huh?
Yeah, I can get a good sense.
You don't even need a radar.
Oh, sit down again.
Oh.
Oh, that's pretty
Okay,
good though.
okay. All
That's
right.
pretty good though.
6,
Jammed it.
91. All right.
It's all right. So this is your final view for this. So for this particular target, your score, and these are just strokes gained values, but instead of
Okay.
looking at 0.04,
Sure.
you see a number that has some more meaning. 180.8. You know that the best today for this target,
Yep.
normally we just you, but we have everybody here competing.
Okay.
So is 196.8,
Okay.
and the average is 190.
Okay.
Right? So you're a little bit below average. That's all right. Combine score, best combine score today, 215. So a little bit better than a tour player.
Yep.
And the average is 184. So
Good.
I was in your head the whole time.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it was the cold.
The camera.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
Everyone's laughing at me.
You're setting the bar pretty low,
Yeah.
so when you do this, this practice, this wedge stuff, you're
Yeah.
gonna be like, look at how good I got.
I just wanna text you and say, look, I'm better than I was at the booth. So I love anything that's like, you can take it out with you. It's like simple to throw down, easy to use. So like I see this as really practical. Like the likelihood of myself going out and like actually throwing this on the range and like going through this is very high, right?
Super. And you
Sweet.
can even put the phone in your pocket, earbud in,
Sure,
and it'll
okay.
say, hey, 40-yard target.
Oh, nice.
You hit the shot, and it'll say you carried that 42, and then be like, target 2, 60 yards. So
Yeah.
you don't even need to be interacting with your phone, right? The iPad was sitting there, you
Great.
just whack shots.
This is awesome. Okay.
So we created Wedge Mode, right?
Okay.
And it's super gamified. We have targets where we
Okay.
can set up different distances. We have rounds
Okay.
where you can go through, in each round you can change the order that the targets are appearing.
Okay.
And we can set up these little kind of competitions.
Cool.
Now, how do you score it?
Okay.
And this is what I dislike most about what a lot of other combines are doing. We want to make it super fun and engaging. I want to make it like a video game,
Right.
right? But I also want to make it super realistic for a golfer. So I want the points you get in a video game to parallel strokes gained,
Okay.
right? So how do I know if you hit a better shot than me? Well, we quantify it with strokes gained. That's the perfect way to do it. Okay, let's say you hit it to 4 feet, I hit it to 10 feet, but we're inside this target zone.
Yep.
We get the same number of points. Unfortunately, it's within that closeness to the hole where strokes gained takes off. If you hit it to 10 feet, and I hit it to 1 foot, I'm guaranteed to make the birdie. You're
Right.
only going to make the birdie half the time.
Right.
Right? So that should be represented in the score.
Okay.
What's the most strokes you can lose on a shot in golf? This is a golf science lab quiz. Don't edit this out.
I've been sick. I've had a cold. I just.
If you hit it, I'll help you out. If you
take
hit
a
it OB,
Tylenol.
that's the worst shot in golf. How many strokes do you lose off the tee?
Well, you're hitting 3, so you lost 2.
Perfect. Okay, so we don't. we don't.
Passed. This
Passed.
is good.
Full marks.
Yeah, we don't even have to edit this anymore.
No one wants to see negative points though,
Yeah.
right? So we got to get that to 0.
Yeah.
Well, let's add 2. Strokes gained is measured in fractions. So I was like, hey, Cordy, great shot. You just gained, 0.04 strokes.
Yep.
And I hit one, I'm like, oh, I just gained 0.08. They're
Yeah.
like, great, these are all really small numbers. I have no idea.
Okay.
So if we add 2 and then multiply by 100,
Okay.
this gets us into video game point range,
Got
but
it.
we still have a high level of resolution and relatability to good golf shots
Sure.
because we started with strokes gained. So that means that a tour player hits a good shot,
Yep.
whether it's a putt, a drive, or an approach shot to 40 yards,
Okay.
you score 200 points.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the baseline. It also means that everybody can play with the same scale. So my 12-year-old daughter can
Yep.
get in here and maybe she scores 120 points, but it still feels fun.
Yeah.
Hey, 120, that's a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
great.
points, right?
Yep.
And you can always show improvement. There's
Yep.
like not this like ceiling of like, oh, I've scored, 100% in the combine,
Yeah.
and that's it, and there's
Yep.
no way to get better. You can literally always do better. If you carry every target perfectly,
Yep.
which will never happen, then you max out in points, but no one's ever going to get there.
Okay.
What's really cool, we had Matt Fitzpatrick come over to the booth yesterday to demo it, and while he's hitting these shots, it's 2 shots to 40, 2 to 60, 2 to 80, and then you repeat. So I'm explaining the app, and I'm saying, okay, so the average tour player should score 200 points by the end of the combine.
Okay.
So he's going. After his final shot, his combine score was 199.9.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
100%
He's average.
validation.
Is it just like distance, or is it left and right as well?
It's 100% distance,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Because we don't measure lateral,
Yeah.
right? So we don't want to pretend to be able to do stuff that we can't do. This is what you want when you're using a TrackMan. You want to be in normalized mode, right?
Yeah.
You want to be like, right, I want to get some feel from the numbers.
Right.
And also, as it turns out, lateral dispersion co-varies. That means that they're related with distance control. You're also going to probably have a pretty tight lateral dispersion. You can picture those ellipses.
Yep.
As they shrink, you never see someone that has an ellipse that's like long and wide.
Right.
Or short and wide. Doesn't happen, right?
Yep.
All the other data is awesome.
Yep.
When it comes right down to it in a practice session, if you hit one super thin and blade it, you don't need to know what the spin was and the launch angle. You go, that was a bad shot.
Yeah, and you didn't carry it the right distance either.
What you do want to know is when you hit that shot and you hit it well, did I carry it right?
Right.
The shorter the shot, the more important distance control becomes relative to dispersion laterally, right? That's right. If you're hitting wedge shots and it's a 50-yard wedge shot, you're never going to miss 25 feet right or left.
Right.
It's always, did I get my carry number
Exactly.
correct? So we've really honed in on what matters, and we've gamified it. It's engaging. You know, the booth has been filled. We had 60 players go through yesterday, and everybody was like, this is fun. And what's also awesome is that whether your combine for the day is 30, 40, 50 yards or 100, 140, 60 yards, the score is still relevant and will be, so you should be trying to get about 200 points to be a tour pro.
Yeah,
right?
because it's a strokes gain based on distance, so it changes, so you can do whatever distance you want.
Exactly.
Okay. And what's the range again that you do it from?
30 to 150.
30 to 150.
Yeah.
That's great.
We could go a little bit beyond that, but we wanted to make sure that we're within a range where the data is reliable and valid and will correlate well to what you would actually carry on a course.
Like, I'd be most excited to take this outside, right? Can I take it to the range and just rip away? Thanks, Sasha. This is really cool new tech. Besides embarrassing myself with that combine, this was really great to hang out with you. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, man.